Hello, Andy. How are you?
Hi, Kamil. Pleased to see you again.
Oh, my pleasure, my pleasure. So I'm guessing everything's okay with you recently. You yes,
Yep.
yeah, you have just quite recently launched your new book. Is it Bug-Free Mind? Is that correct?
Creating and using a bug-free mind, two books.
Ah, yes, obviously, yes. I forgot there are two books of them. So they constitute together one whole thing, and so both books need to be read one after another, yes, to have the full effect, or how does it work?
Absolutely. Absolutely. For the full effect, yeah. The first book's just, it clears people's minds, and then the second book shows them how to use their minds properly again, like they did when they were a child, sort of thing.
Okay, okay. So can you please quickly tell people who are going to watch this interview a few words about you? Why should they listen to you and your story in short?
Cool. I'll try and keep it as short as I can. Um, right. Yeah. I was told at the age of 13 that I would be a successful millionaire. I went into various different jobs, started my first business. Got loads of trouble at school because I was doing too many entrepreneurial things.
Okay.
Um, the Went into my first business about when I was 23. Ended up with that built, I don't know, about 6, 7 years. We had about 100 and between 100 and 150 employees and subcontractors and that sort of thing. Five or six companies, three factories, I think it was.
Hmm.
Countless vans, machinery, you name it, we had it. Every bit of grief you can possibly imagine. Turnover about £7 million a year, making a minuscule net margin. And one day just decided that wasn't right for me.
Hmm.
It was, other people viewed it as a great success. I viewed it as a pain in the backside,
Okay, fair
mainly
enough.
because I knew nothing about business or anything like that when I went into it. And decided I needed to go and create some proper money. Went and researched property and decided that I set myself a goal of being a millionaire in 2 years. Achieved a millionaire in about 6 months and multi-millionaire a couple of weeks later, and
Nice.
it was mind blowing. It was everything I touched turned to gold. We started various business bits and pieces, that sort of thing. We went back. We vowed never to go back into business again after selling the old business off.
Hmm.
Sold some of it, liquidated some of it, closed some of it down, and it took about 2 years because we had no exit strategy. We didn't know what an exit strategy was when we went into business.
Okay.
And then we made so much money in property that people kept coming up to us going, buy this for us, buy this for us, do it for me, show me how to do it. And we were like, well, why don't you just go and do it yourself like we did? And we didn't realise that, well, I didn't realise I was an expert. And I was at a seminar and, in 2004, I think it was, might be 2003.
Hmm.
And yeah, it was 2003. And I was said to, I was at the back of the room and this lady came up to me and said, tell us what you do. And I went, I'm a property investor. And she said, no, 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 she just told us to say that. And I said, no, actually, I am a property investor. And she said, oh, very good. How long have you been in it? And I said, oh, 15, 16 months, something like that. And she said, what's, how many properties have you bought? And I said, oh, about 160, 170. And it just, the whole room just gasped in awe.
I can imagine.
And it was at that second I realised I was an expert at property investing. First year I bought 74 worth 12 million quid with none of my own money, and it was, it was just easy to me. It was something I did it just to get rich. Basically, I didn't
Hmm.
want anything else from it other than the money. Then
Fair
I,
enough.
it was plain and simple. I've never made any secret about it. That's why I was into it. And then we started a company because so many people asked us, "Can you do it for me?" We thought, "All right, well, maybe there's somewhere to go in this." Started it off. It took off like there was no tomorrow. Well, no, it did okay. Tell a lie. It didn't take off like there was no tomorrow. It did okay. It was, I think in the first year turned over about 2 million, something like that, 2.5 million,
Nice.
and it was, so it was good. And but then what happened was my job. I wasn't really interested in property. I was just interested in the money it gave me. All the cars and the toys and holidays and everything like that.
Of
Uh,
course.
but what I was really interested in was I'd gone into online marketing then, internet marketing and that sort of thing. And I was really fascinated by that subject. So what I did was I went to a seminar. This is why I love going to seminars. So I know we're going to talk about seminars in a little while, but this seminar changed how I did everything. And one of the guys just said, if you haven't written a book, you're not an expert. And I thought, oh, cool. Okay, I'll write a book, make sure everybody knows I'm an expert. And it was just literally a business card. It wasn't supposed to be a great book or anything like that. And so I just wrote it, and it was about 450 odd pages. And I wrote it in under 20 hours because I didn't know that you couldn't write a book in under 20 hours. So I just went and wrote one.
Yes. Is it the one about properties?
Yeah, that was it. Money for nothing and your property for free.
Yes.
It went on to become, this is just with our test marketing, UK's best ever selling book on property investment. So it was an outrageous success. Now I wrote the book to teach people how to go and invest in property, but the primary aim was to get me out of the job I'd got with my new company that I'd formed. And the primary job was I had to go and market our seminars and that sort of thing. And I thought, well, if I sell 100 books, then one person in 100 will want us to go ahead and do the job for them. And it was actually 2 people in 100 wanted us to do that. And of course, we just sold the books like it was easy to sell, and it just grew and grew and grew. And we were just ready to go into the mass marketing. We'd got another business we were setting up in Cyprus that looked like the UK business. It actually only had gone from zero to being valued at over 17.5 million in under 3 years. Which is, when you look at how to create money, it's like, wow, that was pretty impressive.
It is, yes.
Yeah, and the Cyprus one was looking like 10 times at least what the UK one was worth.
Okay.
But we'd also done internet marketing, and that business was growing like there was no tomorrow as well. I don't know, 2.5. Average was 1,750 people a month on it, paying about £40 a month, which was brilliant. Where I taught property investing and techniques and all that sort of thing. We've done stacks and stacks of internet marketing basically, and it was all going really well. We got a great business model around the property investment niche, and then I don't know if you heard about it, but back end of 2008, something pretty bad happened in the property market. And
yes, rings a bell. Yes,
it just it was a case of overnight almost. I described the property market like we were all footballers, and one day the mortgage companies owned all the footballs, and one day they came along and said, no, we want our footballs back, so you can't play football no more.
Okay.
And it was a case of, right, okay, well, they've changed the rules of the game somewhat here. Inevitably what had happened was I was overexposed, one of my creditors made me bankrupt, and it was a case of, right, well, that's it, back to square one. Now, the advantage I had was what happened to me during 2009 was I started to notice everything up until the back end of 2008. I mean, everything I touched turned to gold between 2002, middle of 2008, and it was a case of everything. Whatever I touched worked, simple as. And I thought, wow, this is, it taken me years to get, people viewed my previous business as success, but this was my new success. Whatever I went into, first year of being online, we turned over £1 million online. At the time, that was $2 million on internet marketing. It was a massive amount of money at the time, and we took it further in the next year, and it just went massively further. And so I started to think, well, what the hell's going on? Why can't I get it to work now? And my training was manufacturing and production. And so what I did was I took one of my old techniques that I'd used to make money in the past, and I applied it exactly. I used a technique called copy exactly. And I copied exactly what I'd done before, and it didn't work. It should have just printed money. It should have just made money, no problem at all. Not a lot, but you just have to get something to work and then just increase the size of it. And it didn't work. I thought, what the hell's going on here?